brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Welcome to the Stogie Road. I'm turning off my high-tech music here. Welcome. I see Barry hopped on. This is like that show that I used to watch when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
I see Debbie. I see Barry. I see Doobie. What's going on? Barry, Jennifer, Val, Daryl, Kevin. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you, Chris. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for hopping on. We are live in Anderson, South Carolina, Havana through the door. This is Viajante, and the Stogie Road has let us down here, fighting the weather, fighting the traffic to see my good friend Eric. Good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you again, Kerry.
You may have remembered Eric from 2 years ago when we did the Viajante Stogie Roads, Friends and El Galan. If not, you can always catch it on YouTube or on the Viajante Stogie website. If you don't, I have him here, right here. The man, the myth, the legend. You gotta love a guy who gives you a barber pole and a hoppy beer and says, "Hey, what more do you need?" I was like, "Man, I'm set." So, I'm really excited to be here.
It's great to have you, Kerry.
We go back a little bit, a couple years. B. Scott, thanks for joining. What's going on? I met you that day when we had the interview with Felix Mesa, and I made it down to your shop. Mm-hmm. It was always closed at first because my work schedule is always crazy. But I've been able to come down here a couple times, and I'll tell you what, this place is beautiful. It's great. So I want to talk a little bit about your shop, because this is what the Viajante Stogie Road is all about. We started this a long time ago. Going to different shops, visiting and doing live shows, and really promoting brick and mortar in the cigar shops to come in here and hang out, enjoy a cigar, and have good company. I met some guys here. We have a studio audience came all the way from Georgia. What's up, guys? Say hello.
Hello.
Look at that. You guys sound like there's more people here. Come on, man. We talked about this before.
Hello.
So, Eric, tell us about how you got started here.
At this place here, or how I got into cigars, Kerry?
Wow. It's only an hour show.
Good point.
So you decide how you want to shorten it, and then I will make sure that I go along the way. But yeah, how did you get into cigars, and what led you to this particular spot?
Most people have known me from halfway to Havana downtown, which was right on North Main, 134 North Main Street. It was 7,000 square feet. Had a jazz club upstairs and a restaurant lounge and a cigar bar downstairs. Had over 950 facings at one point, 80 scotches on the wall, 50 bourbons on the wall, 16 beers on tap. Put in gourmet food in year 4. I'm a chef by trade. And so basically I did that for 5 years, took a break from it, decided I wanted a different location. Something that was more Andersonian. The first operation I built was more like, everybody goes, "Why are you here? You should be in Atlanta, Charleston, Miami, Charlotte."
Right.
I go, "It's a long commute. I live here." So I sat back and said, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. So after being downtown for 5 years, I realized, I overbuilt for Anderson, even though they loved it.
Right.
So I turned around and took a
You
year
overbuilt
off.
for Anderson?
Oh, yeah. Because most people walk in there going, "What is this place?" And
Right.
I said, "It's halfway to Havana." And eventually I changed the name to Club Havana 134.
Okay.
And then I took a year off, relocated to what I thought Anderson was actually looking for, something that I wanted to start out with initially, but I ended up building the Taj Mahal, which was a 5-year plan done in 10 months.
Right.
Here, I've been here now 3 years, and it's an old cotton mill office that was built back in 1867. The gentleman I'm buying it from bought it in 76, moved it to this location in 78. It looks like a 2-story house from the outside until you walk inside.
Yeah, when I first came here, I remember stopping in and going, "Okay, what gives? This is a house." And then when I walked in, it has, what I think has a really nice, cozy layout.
And
It does.
that's what I was looking at, what most people were looking for, instead of a wide open atmosphere, even though it was nice. Something that was going to be the point where you could sit down and have an intimate conversation with people and not feel like you're being blown out by 10,000 people. So I bought this place. In the process of buying this place, I came in and gutted it and redid it to make it look more inviting, more laid back. Right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different areas that you can go to sit down and be away from people, to turn around and smoke, but still be in the premise of a hole in a wall that no one knows about.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody. I really wanted to do an outside show.
Oh yeah.
Because there is such a great outside area, and right when I got in the car to leave here, it started raining. So I thought, man, it's been beautiful the last couple of days, and boom, it rained. So we're in the lounge, which is great. It's still, I mean, it's a great place. But I was really looking forward to doing a nice outside show. But next time, we'll be back next time for that.
The outside courtyard looks like you're in Charleston. 10-foot private walls all the way around, seating. It looks like a greenery. And the deck is going to get ready to look just like that. The deck seats 21, the courtyard seats 16, or seats about 10 to 12. And eventually there will be a restaurant with a rooftop bar out back, which will seat total, when the whole place is done, it'll seat 125.
Yeah. And for those of you who have been to Charleston, you'll know what you're talking about when you're going down the different alleyways and looking at the the different guards, the different seating areas. For those who don't, get to Charleston, stop by here in Anderson on the way down. But it is very kids first. Actually, it's kind of funny you say that because we've gone to Charleston so many times. When I first came to here and I went to the side, I thought exactly that. I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm in Charleston. And I heard everybody talking in the back in the lounge or the outside patio, and then I finally made my way around the front. I was all over the place that day. I blame Quincy.
It's a great place to come in and sit back and relax. There's not a lot of people, but it's inviting to everybody, and it's laid back. And most people, you get to the point, you're sitting back and looking for a place where you can sit down, smoke a cigar, have a nice pipe and pipe tobacco. There's no cigarettes on the inside or vapes. If you want to smoke, outside.
Right.
Everything on the inside is pipes and cigars only.
And good beer too.
And good beers.
Good beer. We have Dustin hopped on. Dustin App from Jennifer Cigars. Dustin, thanks for joining us. Dulcie, Robert, David, and Barry Bones. I did see, who the heck was that? Let's see. Vita's hopped on. What's going on? Juan, thanks for joining us. We are here at Havana through the door in Anderson, South Carolina. So, you're here. I know we talked before about your plans with the restaurant rooftop bar. I mean, that sounds really like it's going to be cool. But let's talk about what you have now and what your plans are for the humidor and where you see this right now when people come here to visit. Because there's some unique things in your humidor.
Absolutely. The biggest thing that I'm looking at from the 10 years that I've been in this is try to be something that no one else has.
Right.
You know what I mean by that is give them, like on a sign that says it's all about the experience. So when you're coming in, it's not your typical bar, it's not your typical lounge. Right. I want to basically go into all boutiques. And because of that, it's because like when I have my bar, or even with the cigars I bring in, they go, well, what about this cigar? I said, no. And they go, why? I said, first of all, being polite, I said, it's my bar. Mm-hmm. And the object is to turn around, get you outside the box. Mm-hmm. To go, because it's like going into a restaurant, preparing food again. You go to a menu, you go to what you know. So in most when you go into a cigar shop, you go to what you know, and you're afraid to touch anything else. Right. Because you don't know if you're going to like it or not.
Exactly.
But my policy is if I suggest something to you and you do not like it, you do not have to pay for it.
I don't like this cigar. I'm going to finish it.
Well, I hope you do.
No, and that's great because, we talked before because you are a chef. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that goes into what you select in the humidor, what you smoke, and how you pair, based off of your experience with,
correct,
the different flavors, the spices. And I've always found that very interesting because it is a great correlation between the two. And you hit on something that we got Dave Cribbett on from 50 Cal. We got Justin App, I said, on from Gen F Cigars. Both of them Dustin has been on the show. Next week, Dave Cribb is going to be on the show. And it's great to hear the vision of having a heavy boutique humidor. I mean, I've always tell folks, be a destination location because you can get, there's a lot of great cigars out there that are premium, that are the big boys, whether it's a Gurkha or, Padron or, Fuente, Camacho, so on and so forth.
Perdomo.
But exactly. I mean, gosh, I go up north, there can't swing a dead cat around without hitting a facing up there. But what's really nice is when you go to a shop and you're like, wow, what is? I'm not familiar with these different brands and these different blends, and then it actually strikes up a conversation with you, and then you can help guide them to whatever their palate is.
Oh, absolutely. Normally, when a customer comes in, Carrie, I sit back and I said, "How often do you smoke?" All right. And I keep asking questions until I get the answers I'm looking for. Mild, medium, or full.
Dr. Caffey just hopped on. I'll do that from time to time. So
Not a problem.
It's like Tourette's.
I sit back and I said, "Mild, medium, or full?" And they'll sit back, mild. I said, "What do you drink?" They go, "I like beer." I said, "Fine, mild, medium, or full?" I've smoked everything and I've drank everything. And so basically right down to wine, pop, liquor, scotch, bourbon. So I pair everything. So tell me what you like, and the more information I get, the more I'm closer to getting to the palate that you're looking for. And then whatever you pick out or whatever I suggest, I look at the customer and say, "Look, if you're smoking this is what I would be drinking if I was smoking this cigar." And then I give them samples, whether it's wine, scotch, bourbon, beer, or whatever. Let them try it. And then they end up picking very good blend, Eric. I'll take it. Nice pairing. And that's how I turn around and do it. But if they don't like it, I take it out of their hands and say, "No worries." Most places you go into, if you do that, you're stuck with it. Even when it goes to a restaurant, people are afraid to turn around and ask, "Oh, I don't like this." Well, this is kind of like a restaurant. If you don't like it, tell me, and we'll take care of the problem.
Gotcha.
The object is about the experience, coming in here and enjoying yourself and not feeling you're going to get stuck with something if you pay for it and you don't like it. Now, I'm not going to let you smoke all the way down to the end and say you didn't like the cigar.
Right.
It's kind of like going to a table after you get it lit. How do you like it? Great, not a problem. Right. And that's how I turn around and handle it.
We got a question from Kevin Shahan. Kevin, thanks for joining us. He's good. He's a great guy. He's he's got a great question that I think there is some objectivity and some subjectivity to the answer.
Okay.
So I'll ask you, and then I'll give you my long-winded bullcrap answer. And
it's never bullcrap. Come on, Gary.
But he said, "What does boutique mean to y'all?" I did say y'all. It seems like that term gets thrown around a lot. So, for you, when it comes to boutique cigars, what does boutique mean to you?
All right, I'm going to put it to you as a chef. A boutique cigar maker, to me, is a chef. What he's doing, he's picking out flavors and blends that he wants to turn around and put together. It's like taking a plate of food, and you build that food around everything that's on that plate. So everything has to blend together.
Right.
And so once you turn around and find the blends and stuff that you want, it's something unique that no one else has. To me, that's boutique, because you're coming up with your own style, your own niche.
Now, how is that different from some of the bigger brands?
The bigger brands turn around, in my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying this is how I see it.
Right.
They get to the point where they go out and they buy all the tobacco, and they make it on such a mass quantity that sometimes the consistency does not stay the same. And to me, the smaller the roll or the road that you put together, the more love and care you're putting into the dish itself.
Okay.
And same thing with the tobacco. Not saying that they don't on the larger brands, but they get so far diversified out that sometimes you lose the consistency process.
Right.
And then all of a sudden things start to change.
Right. There you go, Kevin. That's from Eric's perspective. I want to welcome Robert Brown. What's going on, Robert? Thank you very much for joining us, my man. Q-Dog, what's going on? But Quincy just came in here. We're going to have him on the show in just a little bit, but he's late, so he's going to have to wait. Felix Mesa's on.
Ah, Felix, how you doing, my friend?
I wish I could speak Spanish, Felix, but hola. Thank you so much for joining the show. And actually, I'm smoking the Barber Pole, which is your house blend, but later on, I'm going to have this little number. I love this cigar.
Great smokes, Felix. Great smokes.
The Vegas de L'Oreal. I don't say that very well.
Nonchalant.
Duncan does a better job. This is an incredible cigar.
It's like the
is
creme brulee of the dessert aspect of it.
I'm telling you, I had this cigar at Duncan's anniversary show. They sent some, up, and this is, one of the newer blends from Felix, and I was blown away.
It's a great smoke.
So when I was down in Miami visiting with Gabby Caffey, and completely in awe of what he does with Cafe 1901 and San Geronimo. I stopped by and seen Camilo, and Felix was in Nicaragua at the time, because Felix is going to be overseeing the Fuente plant in Nicaragua.
No, that's good news.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah. Felix is the man, and Gabby and I were just having a great time. And I stopped up to see Camilo, and I got some of the Lanceros of the Vegas Deploying Island. Wow, just outstanding.
Looks like I'll be bringing that one in, Felix.
Barry. Barry just said, my hat's great, but your hat is fantastic. Barry also admitted that he is smoking a San Geronimo, but I think he's drinking heavily right now. So
You make it sound like it's a bad thing, Kerry.
I don't. I'm saying it distorts your perception. So while Quincy has a conversation on speakerphone, even though we're live, what we're going to I'm just missing. Kevin, back to your question, boutiques. Now, the definition of boutique is producing less than 1 million cigars in a year.
Correct.
Okay, so that is the technical definition of boutique. I think D. Wayne, what's going on? Now, yes, there are going to be some of the other companies that do short runs, and they're going to have less than 1 million, and they're going to want to be boutique. But I have looked at boutique in 3 buckets. One is the definition, less than 1 million. So if you and I decide that we want to start our own cigar company, and we get someone to make our cigars, our own blends, whatever the case may be, we want to pursue our dream, that's boutique.
Correct.
Then there is another level of boutique. My opinion, okay? Opinions are like, you know what? Everybody's got one. They all stink. So my opinion is the next level is that you have your own factory, you have your own blenders, you have your own rollers, you have everything, and you buy your tobacco.
Correct.
Okay. And then there is the third level, which is you own your own fields. You have your own tobacco. You grow your own tobacco. You pick your own tobacco. You have your own factory, your own roller distribution. So you do everything from seed to shelf.
Correct.
Still, obviously, underneath that 1 million or less.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at boutique, personally, and that's how I kind of categorize them. I don't think one would be considered better than the other. I mean, there's some folks who don't have the ability to have a factory, and guys like Gabby Caffey, who has his factory in Honduras. I mean, he has his mass, he has his blenders, he has his rollers. I mean, he is really involved at the very at that level. And then you have people like Felix, who he has his fields in Nicaragua, and he's a third generation tobacco farmer. So you have these different levels. It doesn't mean one's better than the other.
Correct.
But that's my personal definition of boutique. And I think, Sarah, thanks for joining. We got Sarah on. So, Kevin, that's my definition. Anybody else have any questions? Please ask. Anybody has their definition of what boutique is? Please throw in your 2 cents. That's what we're here for. So, back to the conversation of your humidor.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that you have some unique blends in there right now.
Correct.
So let everybody know a little bit about what you can get in your humidor right now.
In my humidor right now, I'm in the process going from 950 facings down to ones that I know that you can't find anywhere. So most of the reps or the small owners who come in, for example, Regis Cigars, El Galan, my cigars, and I'm looking at Rolling Thunder, 50 cal. There's a lot of different brands that I want to turn around and bring in that you normally don't see.
Right.
And so basically, the humidor that I have now is about 1/6 the size that I had downtown in my other shop. And so the object right now is to turn around. By the time I finish, I'll probably have anywhere between 80 to 90 facings, hopefully all boutique. And I've had some of my customers want to know, are you going to bring this in, bring that in? I said, I can, but I choose not to.
Right.
Because basically you can get those cigars anywhere.
Right.
And so basically when you walk into my shop, as unique as it is,
right,
that's part of the experience, is finding something that you're not going to find at a regular tobacco shop.
and I appreciate that. I mean, I'm part of the Boutique Cigar Association of America. Gabby Caffey's the president. He's on viewing. We've been doing a series here on the Stogie Road Show. We're going to pick it back up next week with having boutique cigar makers and having the brand owners on, and even offering sample packs during the show. We're doing like a virtual cigar event.
Right.
Last week we had Val on from DAV Cigars, which you're smoking.
Great smoke, by the way.
And I have just found that I've had all the the Gurkhas and stuff like that. Great cigars, good cigars. The boutique definition, going back to that Kevin earlier, is boutique, pure boutique, and true boutique. That's the way I kind of look at the three. But the other thing that makes boutique cigars, in my opinion, different is if I have a question, if I'm online or I'm on Facebook, I can contact Gabby Caffey. I can contact Dave Cribbett. I can contact Chris Weber. I can contact Felix Mesa or Val. I mean, you can have a one-on-one personal relationship with the owners of these boutique cigars, and that makes it even that more personal.
Absolutely.
100%, in my honest opinion, that's what I love best about it. You may have seen some of the folks who were on Facebook and did social media, and they really build up their brand, and then when they get so big, you don't hear from them anymore.
That's right.
There is such a great interaction. I mean, Florida de Maribel, Millie Maribel is on Facebook. I followed her. I was like, I gotta try her cigars. I contacted her, ordered some cigars, great cigars. I would have never known about it unless we were friends on Facebook and I got a chance, to interact with her. And that, I think, for me, makes it that much more personal. When you were up in Greenville, we were doing the interview with Felix Mesa.
Correct.
It just wasn't hey, Felix, why do you like cigars? I mean, we learned about everything from his blends to his cigar bands. Everyone told a story. So when you sit down and you smoke the Doña Nieves, you're smoking a cigar, and that ring is telling you a story about his grandmother. Mm-hmm. When you smoke the El Galan, the Reserva Especial, you're looking at the picture, you're seeing his grandfather dressed up in a dandy, they called it back in the day when he dressed up nice. This Vegas de Plurial is literally those two stories put together that is an homage to his farm that his grandparents had, that he learned so much about tobacco. That's a story, and that's not something I read in Cigar Aficionado. That's something that the owner told me. That's something that is just unique for me.
That's kind of like, I've only been doing this for 10 years, Gary, and I'm still learning. And at one point, when I was talking to David Ludwig, when I first opened up downtown, and he was speaking about cigars to me and everything else. I used to smoke 5 cigars a year. And all of a sudden, he was getting into cigars, and I finally said, David. And he goes, what? I said, you're over my head. He goes, Eric, it's not that hard. I said, do you know how to make a bechamel? And he laughed at me and goes, what? I said, it's not that hard. Once you understand what it is.
How's a bechamel?
Bechamel is the Italian white sauce. It's the mother sauce of all sauces when it comes to white sauces. Being a culinary trained chef, I've studied under three certified master chefs, trained out in New York, been to New York, Boston, Dallas, Texas, and now South Carolina. So taking my passion for food, I put it towards cigars. But most people keep coming in, when you opening your restaurant? I said, soon come. Right now, it's the cigars, because that's what I have a passion for. I have a passion for food, but I always compare everybody when I'm teaching them or explaining cigars to them as if it's food, because they understand food more than they understand tobacco. So if you can turn around and put it into food terms, because most times you start talking tobacco, all they hear is blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But if I start around and start putting it as if it's food, it starts to click, and I go right back to tobacco after.
Right.
And so they click into it faster, they understand it more.
It's good association.
Correct.
It's a very good association.
Most people eat, they understand what they're eating more than what they're smoking.
Right.
Unless, of course, you're into it all the time. But the thing is everybody has their own palate. And so, considering my palate, everybody else's, I say this may have spice, this may not, but everybody's palates are different. But when we talk about boutique, sit back and look at all the small dining rooms and small restaurants. Just like Felix has his own fields. Most guys have their own restaurant. table, plate to table.
Yep.
Same thing to the field, to the rollers, to the marketing. So it's almost like I consider Felix a chef, but he's doing it in tobacco. He's telling the history, like most chefs will turn around and tell the history of how they turned around and learned about food, or they came from their mother, or different styles of desserts, this, that, and the other. And to me, a cigar is a dessert. It can also be a main entree, depending on how you want to do it.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Absolutely.
You're exactly right. And it's funny is it's a great comparison of an incredible meal or a good meal at Cracker Barrel, or going to your corner diner. You know, and diners are big up north. You know, it's especially like Jersey, Pennsylvania. You know, they have the big name, you know, Bob Evans and Cracker Barrel, but everyone likes going to that diner because it is personalized. It's smaller. It's boutique food in a silver trailer. That's what it is.
Kind of like all the larger ones now. If you sit back and look at the larger brands, whether it's Rocky Patel, this, that, or the other, I consider those, not that they're bad cigars. I don't say that at all. They're because they got great cigars.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting back and saying it's like going into a major chain restaurant.
Right.
Compared to a small place, which is a hole in a wall.
Right.
That you find out, like that little diner. This is a diner. It's a little hole in the wall that no one knows about. But once you find it, you're going, holy crap, where's this place been?
Most definitely. And, you know, I learned a great deal when I was down in Miami and I visited with Gabby Caffey. I got to spend a couple of days with Dr. Caffey. He's a trained podiatrist. Mm-hmm. And he's in this, you know, he's Caffey 1901, San Geronimo. And to sit down and not only talk to him, he's been my friend for a while, but to sit down and see his operations and how he conducts his business was incredible. And it just wasn't a business for him, it's a passion.
Absolutely.
And to really learn about how involved he is and how particular he is and how meticulous he is with not only the blends but the business decisions that he makes, and then to see it all in work in his location. He actually built his office in his backyard, and it's where his distribution center is because he's smart like that. And to learn that he makes decisions like that at that level of a business owner, but then also we sit down and we're smoking the different blends, and to see how he evaluates what he's smoking and what he has. And I can tell you, his San Andres is in my top 3 cigars. It is. It's incredible. His Sumatra, incredible. Don Fernando Maduro is to die for, but it's, when you smoke it, you definitely know you're smoking a Caffey. You definitely know you're smoking a Caffey, and his name's on it, so he takes great pride in that. Therefore, that personal oversight you were talking about earlier, like a chef, you know, when you develop a platter
mm-hmm.
or an idea for a dish, and your name's on it, it needs to be great. And then when you have your sous chef, yes, I said sous chef because I know that. I watched Hell's Kitchen, and you have folks that are actually developing your plate. It needs to be exactly what you want it to be.
Absolutely.
And that is the one thing I definitely love about the time I spent with Gabby, and that's the getting to know a lot of different guys. I mean, last week we had Val on, and we talked about how they come up with their blends, and they have their rollers, and they have some of their key rollers, and they sit down and they smoke cigars, and they actually talk about it as a group on how they're going to move forward with the blend. And I think I've always loved cigars just because of this right here, the camaraderie. Everything's checked at the door. It doesn't matter what background you are, how much money you make, what color you are, what religion you are, what you believe in. Everything's left at the door, and you come in here and you enjoy the cigar.
And it's one good thing about shops like this or the other ones that everybody else has, is that you have one thing in common. Everybody likes cigars. So it's a great conversation starter. So you're going, hey, what are you smoking? Next thing you know, the conversation starts. You may not know the person, but the conversation starts because it's one thing everybody has in common.
I didn't know you until I met you a couple of years ago when we did the Felix Mesa event. And that was, what, 2 years ago, wasn't it? 2 years ago, we started doing our live broadcasting. I mean, it was even before that when Dunk and I were doing live broadcasting from cigar
Duncan's a
shops.
great guy, by the way.
But when we really started doing something special, I mean, we'd done an interview with Felix Mesa. We had Mike Bellotti on. I mean, it's a really unique opportunity to sit down. And that was another guy I forgot to mention about, Mike Bellotti with MLB Cigars. Just really, really great cigars. And his story about the Ehrlich cigars is really cool. So that's what I really liked about it, sitting down and listening to different stories from the various brand owners. And if you have a question, I said it before, I'll say it again, you pick up the phone, you got a question about your Cafe 1901s, you pick up the phone, you got to talk to Gabby Cafe. You're not going to talk to Joe Blow. No offense to Joe.
You mean we're not turning around getting somebody from India, turn around and handling it like a credit card company?
Possibly.
You got a question?
I think Gabby's working on that.
I'll tell you this, is DAV. I'm smoking.
Michael, what's going on, brother? Good seeing you. I told you I will do that from time to time.
That's right. This Maduro from DAV.
Yeah. That's San Andres.
I'm smoking this, and what it reminds me is a chef. Now, everybody has their favorite type. To me, this is a ribeye.
It's a ribeye, Val. Smoking
Full
a
of
ribeye.
flavor. Great taste. Not overwhelming, but it lets you know you're smoking a great cigar. And it's got a lot of flavor to it, and it's smooth. It's not harsh. Great burn. It's a great cigar.
That's good. I mean, I'll tell you, it's and I was always a big, heavy, Maduro pepper smoker, and I'll smoke some of the lighter stuff from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I have to, and because I want to be able to experience everything, and whether it's like Felix's Connecticut, which is really nice, that creamy. Gabby's got a Connecticut that's peppery. It's not your everyday average Connecticut, or even that Prima Natural that DAV makes. That's a really nice. It is like a good creamy cup of coffee. That's always a good way to start the day. I FaceTimed Gabby yesterday, and I started my day yesterday at San Andreas. He goes, "Boy, you're starting off kind of harsh." I said, "Gabby, it's gonna be a long freaking day. I need to start off with San Andreas because it's gonna be a San Andreas at 8 o'clock in the morning kind of day."
It's kind of like with Quincy, one of my great friends who comes in to help me at my shop. He walks in the door at 8 o'clock. He's got a cigar in his mouth already. I said, "Oh my God, Quince, it's only 8 o'clock." He goes, "And your point being?" I
Quincy's
said,
got it going on.
Well, absolutely. The man, Quincy he's an enlightenment to my place. I mean, he comes in, he's got a great personality, he knows the cigars. You'll teach him a little bit on the wine of it, but he understands the beers and the cigars.
Quincy, though, I don't think he's not a big wine guy, is he?
Nah. But
that was good beer. That was a really good beer.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
What was that?
That was Sweetwater 410 Creek. It's their IPA. It's called the Strain 420, and great hazy beer, hazy IPA. Like most of my customers come in and go, "Eric, what's your favorite cigar?" And I said, "Depends on what I'm smoking."
Right.
Well, what's your favorite smoke? Depends on what I'm drinking. So I turn around. It just depends on the mood. Just like everybody else wants to start out with a full body, it may be coffee to start with.
Yeah.
Later on in the afternoon, it may be a beer. Later on after that, you may be sitting down with a nice scotch or a bourbon.
That was a nice balance with the barber pole because this was, I like this because the construction is really, really good because I like a good barber pole, but a lot of the problems have been, in my experience when I'm starting to smoke them, is they start to flake. You're like, man, this is the Maduro and it's starting to flake, or this is starting to flake, but this construction has stayed on point.
Thank you, appreciate that.
It's dead on. This is really good.
All right, now I'm not going to take up the whole time because we're going to bring Quincy in here so he can sit down and explain a little bit to you.
Oh, well then that means you can get. Can I get another beer?
Absolutely.
Man, I like this place.
Same beer. You want to try something new?
Oh, I'd really like to have this beer again.
Right.
This was a really good beer.
I'll be right back.
Oh, wow, man. Well, Eric has left. So, Angel, thanks for joining, Rodriguez. Sorry, bad eyesight, and I'm looking down here. So, we are here at Havana Through the Door in Anderson, South Carolina. Where are you guys from again? Hartwell. Hartwell, Georgia. How far away are you?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes, Hartwell, Georgia, right across the river, right? How close to Athens?
Sure. About 30 minutes from Athens. Well, no, 45.
45 minutes. So Anderson is more of the western part of South Carolina, the southwestern part of South Carolina, right on that Georgia border. As we see, we got some Georgia boys here. And it's really great to have, you know, this location because you're going to get folks from all over. You really are. You know, these guys are sitting over there enjoying their time. Man, Eric, you are on point, brother. Look at that. That was even stalling.
Quincy's working with somebody, so I get to sit back.
Quincy's working. Raphael, thanks for joining. Is Clay?
That's correct.
Daryl told me your name, so I was cheating. Daryl, you made me look smart for a second. I think you sound like Clay, man. See, I could have done something like that, but I didn't. He goes, that sounds like Clay. Look at Daryl, good with voices. Good job, Daryl.
Go Daryl.
Yes, sir. So, what's going on, Raphael? Thanks for joining, man. I appreciate it. So, your humidor.
Mm-hmm.
What plans do you have? I mean, you said you want to bring in some boutiques.
Correct.
Are you looking at building out or keeping it that size?
Keeping it that size.
Keeping it that size. Now, what do you have plans moving forward? We talked about your past.
Correct.
We talked about what you got going on right now.
Correct.
Where is your establishment in Havana through the door? Where are you going to be in the next year moving forward?
The next phase I'm getting ready to go into, because I've had a lot of my customers ask about liquor. So the next phase is to turn around.
You gave me the skunky one.
Did I give you the wrong one?
It's all right, though.
No. Give it back.
No. It's good. It's good. I'm going to drink it. I told him I got it. Eric, never pull a beer away from a fat man. Come on, for real. Seriously, sit down.
I look at it this way.
It's beer.
But here's the point. If it's not what you ordered, then we get you, turn around, make it right.
I learned to adapt when it's beer.
No adapting. It's what you asked for.
No, this is good.
Anyway,
I liked it, man.
But anyway, the long-term goal, it's a 5-year plan. And I picked my location out for the simple reason is because I know it's getting ready to expand here in Anderson. And because of that, I picked a corner that's about 2 blocks from downtown, but it's private.
Right.
And so the next goal is to turn around and bring in liquor, expand my courtyard expand my deck to make it look like my courtyard. And then a year and a half down the line after that, that's when the restaurant, the rooftop bar will go in. So there'll be 3 bars. There'll be gourmet food in the back.
Nice.
And the long-term plan is to get it certified by the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York, which means that it'll be susceptible to students coming out from the culinary to do the type of food that I want to do.
Nice.
So you won't be regurgitating the same type of people that go from restaurant to restaurant. It's going to be high-end. And when I mean high-end, not like Atlanta, the presentation is going to be like Atlanta, Charlotte, Columbia, or Miami.
Yeah.
But it'll be cost-effective for what Anderson's looking at. But the next phase is to turn around and bring in liquor, which means I have to go private club.
Right.
And because in South Carolina, you can't sell food, you can't sell liquor unless you sell food.
Yeah.
So the way to get around that is to go private. And because there's no food requirements and no seating requirements.
Okay.
And then once I get that in, everything's going to have to change over from an LLC to a C Corp. And then that's when they bring it in, going to load up the humidor with boutique companies, remodify the bar, finish the outside.
Right.
And another year down the line, start the restaurant out back.
Yeah. That's great. What kind of, I mean, I know it may be I don't know if it's a difficult question to answer, but what kind of food is it going to be?
My best friend, who's like a brother to me, he's also a chef from Morocco. He used to be my manager when I was downtown. His name is Karim Bouzamor. The guy is amazing. We're going to be looking at Moroccan. We're going to be looking at sushi. We're going to be looking at French. We're going to be looking at Italian. We're going to be looking at steaks. We're going to be there isn't anything the two of us cannot put out.
Right.
But it's going to be a specialized menu. It's only going to be 2 turns in the dining room, and once that's done, the place opens up for all members to go out back and smoke and relax. So there'll be live entertainment on the roof, jazz, laid-back music, and to the point where everybody who's sitting outside can turn around and hear the music. And inside, you can still play jazz and stuff in the main lounge. Mm-hmm. There'll be TVs around. There'll be a private deck out front. So there'll be 7 different areas that you can go to.
Now, how far? I mean, how long do you think you see it's going to take you to get to that point?
A year and a half to 2 years maximum.
Year and a half, 2 years maximum.
I just submitted my business plan to the city. turn around what I want to do for the area, and they're looking at turn around and helping out. So because they had me downtown and they liked what I did.
Right.
And they saw what I did. So now I'm telling them this is the next phase. It's more Andersonian to me.
Right.
And what the Anderson people were looking for. And there's so much corporate business out here, Kerry. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah.
From Michelin to BMW to Rigid and Ryobi Tools, Electrolux. I mean, I have so much corporate business when I was downtown. They keep coming in and go, Eric, what are you putting the restaurant in? I said, all in due time, guys.
It's amazing what it's done for the for the economy. I mean, I look at Greenville and I see exactly what BMW has done for Greenville and Greer, surrounding areas, Michelin, Floor. I mean, Caterpillar has invested a ton of money down in the Greenwood area, and even when you get down into the Somerville, North Charleston area, how much Boeing has influenced and impact that area, it's just amazing. And then when you are able to provide a cigar lounge, a cigar shop, for folks, especially what you're going to be doing, that's awesome.
It's going to be a situation where you don't have to go to Greenville. Anything wrong with Greenville. For a lot of the people I talk to.
We're in Anderson now.
Yeah. This is the new and upcoming Greenville, without being Greenville.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that there are so much people here that they end up going to Greenville because of the diversity situation here, not enough diversity. So they go to Greenville to spin, but they don't want it. And so basically, a lot of the corporate people talk to me and say, Eric, there's no place, because we want to drive to Greenville because we can only drink 2 beers and maybe 1 or 2 cigars, and then we can't have anything else. We have to drive back.
Right,
so they don't want to drive.
Right.
And so that's why they come here.
Right. Well, that's why I'm only having 2 beers because I got to drive back to Greenville. Barry, we are not in North Charleston. We are in Anderson, South Carolina. Well, there's a question. The man, he's down in the deep south. He's from New York. Barry's Anderson, Barry. Google it. Anderson. It's okay. Say it with me. Anderson, South Carolina.
Anderson, Carolina.
South Carolina. My first memory of ever coming to Anderson, South Carolina when I was working was I was hitting some of the gastroenterologists in the area, and I picked up some food, and I stopped down by the little lake pond or whatever it is down here,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled up, and I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and relax to eat my meal. And I looked up and it said, "Be careful, gators." And there was another sign that said snakes. And I just started laughing. I'm like, man,
We have it all.
no kidding. In Anderson, South Carolina, I'm going to tell someone that I got, attacked by a gator when I was down in Anderson. They wouldn't believe me. But, yeah, Barry, I'm telling you, man, this is definitely a place to stop.
Change it over to Quincy.
Can't get over Quincy.
Got to attend to business.
Quincy, you better been shared.
I better be sharing.
Did you share?
I'm sharing everything I got. So
No, the show.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Look at that. We just lost 5 viewers as soon as you sat down.
I'm sorry,
Everybody, Quincy, my man, what's going on, brother?
How you doing?
How's it going? What are you smoking?
Wasabi.
Wasabi! Yeah, the wasabi. I like that. That's a good cigar. What do you think?
I love it. I reviewed it. You didn't hear me review it. Well, you didn't see me review it.
No?
I just reviewed it
When?
just 2 seconds ago.
2 seconds ago, so you're competing with the show. I don't even know why the hell are we on now. Danny, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Stephen Finley, what in the heck is going on? Did he just dust the ashtray with a cigar? No, he was moving things around. Stephen, thanks for noticing though. Stephen Finley, he's Bob Finley's son. He's the one who does all of the editing of the Bob the Cigar Guy. Catch him on YouTube. Look at Bob the Cigar Guy. So he notices the little nuances. So Stephen, thanks for noticing. I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Quincy just joined.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
I'm right here. I'm
He's right here too. So Quincy, talk about how you got involved. How'd you get here?
How'd I get here?
In here, not like how'd you get here, like your
drove.
vehicle. How'd you get here? Man. Eric's particular about his.
Yeah.
Don't pour it down the drain. I'll drink it before I leave.
Yeah. How'd I get? When I
Daryl
drove.
said the quote of the night was never pull a beer from a fat man's hand. I'm telling you, that's the way it goes. Matt Sprouse, before you get started,
Go ahead.
I got to give my boy Matt Sprouse a shout out.
What up, Matt?
Matt Sprouse, down in Greenwood, South Carolina.
Okay.
He's the one who did all the pictures for the Greenwood magazine for the article that the Viajante, Stogie Road, and Tobacco Case was in. And let me tell you something. If he can make me look good in the picture, the man is a magician. Check him out online. I'm telling you, Matt Sprouse, he's a phenomenal photographer.
It ain't hard for you to do.
What, make me look good?
Yeah, make you look good. Come
Just
on,
kissing
man.
butt now.
Come on,
but
here.
but Matt, I mean, literally, just a great. And he's a really nice guy. But I'm telling you, really talented young guy. Really talented young kid. So, thanks for joining, Matt. I appreciate it, bro. It's always good seeing you. I'm smoking the El Galan.
It's a great
Vegas de Plorial.
That's a great
Oh my God, this is phenomenal.
Dude, I don't know what he was doing, but he stuck his foot in that one.
Yeah, see, man, I've always said one thing about a couple of people that I know, and you can call it kissing butt, call it whatever you want. I don't care. I call it the real deal because I don't.
That is a great smoke.
I don't like BS. Felix Mesa cannot make a bad cigar.
No, not even.
Gabby Caffey cannot make a bad cigar. I mean, it's even when you get their bundles and you smoke their bundles and your ash is this long and white, you're going, this is a bundle cigar. You cannot make a bad cigar. So back to Quincy.
How did I get to smoking cigars, or just how I get to here?
Well, we're going to talk about how you got to smoking cigars, but I want to know how you got to here.
I got to here by driving my Ford F-150.
Quincy drives a Ford Focus, but he just lied and said it's an F-150 because no one wants to know that he drives a Ford Focus. Stephen Finley, you know what, brother? The profile on this cigar, I can't do it justice as your dad would do, but I'm going to make sure that Bob the Cigar Guy does get this cigar. This profile, this cigar is just... one of the best things that I love about this Vegas de Plorial, when I start smoking it, the first thing I start getting is cream and cedar. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm smoking it down, I start, as Bob would say, so I'm going to smoke this joker down. As I start smoking it down, I'll get back to you. I start getting more pepper. But the creaminess and the cedar never left. Mm-hmm. And then as I got halfway to the last third, the pepper started to die off. And I start getting this allspice. I mean, it really has just a crazy flavor and transitioning profile. Mm-hmm. That's the best I could do. That's not Bob the Cigar Guy, but that's the best I could do. Because we do love Bob. Man can...
Love Bob.
He does. He's great. His 13 days of Halloween was off the hook. Halloween, as he said.
He is.
I love it. I'm telling you, you guys want to see a good review of the Tatuaje Skinny Monster collection, and just entertainment and really a knowledge bomb. Check out Bob the Cigar Guy on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe too.
I'm already
Come on, guys! You guys should be Bob the Cigar Guy YouTube. Check him out. 15-minute reviews of cigars. And if you ever want to see a guy who literally is entertaining but knowledgeable and does a good 13 to 15 minute cigar review, check it out. It's awesome.
What's his name?
Bob the Cigar Guy.
Or call him Cigar Bob.
I like that.
Bob Cigar. There you go.
I feel somebody said something weird or crazy.
Thank you, Raphael. Great point about going to the DR and checking out what they are doing there. So, we're eventually going to get back to Quincy.
I wonder.
What part of the DR? Where's he at?
What part of the DR? What part of the Dominican Republic? While we wait for that answer, we'll get back to you. So, Quincy,
Yes.
how did you get here in this lovely establishment with Eric?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Eric, actually, he's the one that taught me how to smoke cigars. I came in a newbie, not knowing anything about cigars, not knowing anything about how to pair or any of that. Eric saw me puffing on a cigar like you do in the movies, like hotboxing it away.
Right.
And he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Smoking. Well, trying to smoke a cigar like they do in the movies, like, that's the movies. You don't do that. So he taught me. He showed me how to light it, showed me how to cut it, and then he showed me how to keep rolling your cigar to keep it even.
Mm-hmm.
Showed me how to keep the draw on it the way you need to keep the draw on it. And after that, it just came second nature after like 2, 3, 4 years.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Really? I'm sorry. It's a family-friendly show. Holy crap. Tamboril.
So it took a while for cell memory to kick in with Quincy. When it finally did, he's there.
Dominican Republic is Tamboril.
How far is that from Santiago?
How far is that from Santiago? Get out your GPS. I want
miles
driving and walking distance.
3 miles and 10 minutes.
So, obviously, you learned a great deal from Eric, sitting here smoking, and then you also work here, don't you?
I do still work here. I do.
Yeah.
Have fun in the mornings.
I love it.
I love the mornings.
You make a pretty good Cuban coffee, too. I'm going to tell you, Eric,
I try.
the kid, Duncan makes a great Cuban coffee. Buena Vista Restaurant down in Greenwood. Good Cuban restaurant. Great coffee. He makes a pretty damn good cup of coffee.
I had to show him, but he makes it great.
Real good. 5 minutes, he says.
That's cool.
Of course.
Much closer than I thought it was going to be.
Not 5 minutes from here, 5 minutes from
Well, that's okay. I can just walk down there.
That's great. So you, how long have you been working here now?
Kind of when he started here, it's 3 years almost.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
It's funny because when I walk in, I don't feel like a customer to me. It feels like I walk in,
Yeah.
it's home. I can start doing what I need to do. If he's busy, help him out, jump in, help out. If he's not busy and he don't feel like doing it, I'll jump in and do it myself.
Most of the times, there's not too many people, Jerry, that I let behind my bar. He's one of them. And most customers, when he comes behind the bar and starts doing something, people looking at him and looking at me like, what's Quincy doing behind the bar? And I said, because Quincy understands what I'm doing. I trust him because he understands everything. He helps me out.
Quincy Coffee does keep you on your toes. I will give you that. And that's a sign of a good, if not a great, cigar lounge. Is when you walk in and it feels like home. When it feels comfortable. When the people who are there, I always evaluate cigar shops using the Stogie Road 3. And that is location, selection, and the staff. The location will get you there. What?
I thought it was location.
No, that's not Stogie Road 3. That's some sort of...
Restaurant.
That must be some sort of Rent-A-Center thing. That's an Aaron's rental. Its location will get you there. So when I'm traveling on a Stogie Road and I'm like, okay, great, man, this is right off the highway. Boom, perfect. Perfect location. Well, this one's maybe about 10 minutes off the highway. Yeah, maybe I'm still going to go. So location's important. The selection. When you walk in, what selections do they have? But not only the selections, but how do they keep the humidor? I've been in some humidors that were big, massive, huge, great selections, and just poorly kept. Cigars laying all over the place, stacked on top of each other, mold, whatever the case may be, just very bad shape. So the selection will get you to buy. So the location gets you there, selection gets you to buy, and then the staff. The staff gets you to keep coming back. I've been to a lot of cigar shops where the location got me there, great location, the selection was good, so I bought from there, and the staff was not good. So I'm like, great, put this on my little Stogie Road check mark list, boom, boom, I'm gone, I'm not going to keep coming back. So I have found out of those 3, the last will overcome the selection. Not the condition, but the selection, and will most definitely overcome the location. I mentioned to you guys earlier when we were talking about going up north at Cardick Shaw's place, a Bowling Springs Wine and Cigar Shop. When you go up to Spartanburg, it takes a little bit of time to get there, but the selection and Cardick and the guys who are working there, definitely worth the extra 10 or 15 minutes off the beaten path. There's places like Cardick's, the Burnt Leaf up in Reynoldstown, Maryland. I would drive past 2 or 3 other cigar shops to get there. That's the sign of a good cigar shop.
It's kind of like back to the restaurant critic. I always, being a restaurant critic and a food consultant for my businesses for years, that's what I did before I did this. The biggest thing I always tell people is you can have a bad day in the back, but you can't have a bad day up front. If I go into a restaurant to critique a restaurant, if the food's not any good, I understand it. But if the service doesn't handle the problem, then I got a problem.
Yep.
I'll go back if the service is great because they can have a bad day in the back, but you can't because it's all customer related. So if you can't turn around and make things right for that customer, they're not going to come back. The food may be good, but if the service isn't any good, they're not coming back.
Customer service is important. Talking about, pairing the palate, with the cigars in the humidor. I always use Duncan as a great example. Owner of Doña Noli in Statesville, North Carolina. Great guy, great tobacconist. Whenever I'm talking to him on the phone, I gotta go, customer. Boom, hangs up on me like that. Because his customer is important. There's so many shops I walk into where someone's on the phone and they're doing the whole, yeah, hey man, hey, welcome. Let me know if you need anything. That to me doesn't let me know that
Service.
that I'm important. So that's good. Then you have sometimes those little freaky, like the shadow, up in your grill, and I'm good, I know what I want, but they still follow you around.
Yeah,
You
I've
did
had
that to me when I was here
times.
last time.
Well, I have to.
He's like, I gotta watch you, Carrie. You're wearing a sweater with a lot of pockets
In the middle of summer.
in the middle of summer. What the hell's going on with you? Yeah, see, Quincy's a good. He knows it. He knows his stuff, though. Oh, look at that. Daryl says that you know how to choose your cigars. What's going on here? Oh, sorry. We may have to do a.
Technical difficulties.
No, this is Facebook. We just got bumped.
Said you're being way too long. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. We'll see if it hops back on, but no, it just froze up in a bump. There it is. Hold on. Oh. We'll see if it hops back on. Oh, we're on. We're back on.
I don't think we left.
Sorry, guys. It's kind of funny, not funny, haha. But one of the problems have been with Facebook has been I was getting a lot of these things. I think during Jeff Amendola Cigars, I was getting this whole you need to reload, you need to reload. This one here popped up. You're not logged in. So who knows? Now I have to make this announcement only because he is my brother from another mother. Duncan Ramon Echevarria has just joined. Duncan, my man, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you.
How you doing,
I'm
Duncan?
here with Q Dog. I got Eric. I got the boys from Georgia sitting over here. We got about 70 of them. Right, guys?
Yeah!
Yeah, there you go. That sounds believable.
I miss my chef friend Duncan!
Duncan, what's going on, brother? Yeah, I know I'm still on, dude. I'm not going to do the whole, baby, I'm hungry! But, so, I'll ask the voice from beyond, since Quincy is here. What one thing has Quincy brought to the table for your shop that was different before he started working here?
Knowledge, personality, and willing to learn.
Personality?
Oh,
Same
yeah.
difference.
Okay, I believe it's believable. You're believable.
He's got a good sense of humor.
He does. He does.
You believe-
Plus, I like the fact that he opens up earlier.
True. Once you get to know him, when you don't
Because
know
I'll tell
him,
you
you're
what,
quiet.
I remember coming here the first couple times, like, damn, it's closed. Damn. And this time I was like, man, it's open now. I was like, okay, Quincy, make some coffee. Boom.
Anytime.
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 So when we're open.
So, is this where you started first smoking cigars?
I started at Eric's older place when I first started smoking cigars.
Okay, so you go way back.
Oh yeah, at least 10 years.
No kidding, really?
So I've been, that's been a long time.
10 years. You started smoking when you were 12? He looks like a young kid, doesn't he?
If I shave, yes.
When you shaved, I was like, damn, that's Quincy. He looks like Dudley from Different Strokes. I thought, don't go in the tub with that guy. Only some of the people over the age of 40, I think, will understand that reference. Yeah, I was like, man, you look really young when you shaved.
Yeah, if I shave, I look 13.
You did. Because I think when you and I met down at Boda's, I think right after you had shaved, you were just growing back. Yeah.
Starting to grow back.
Because I didn't even know who you were.
I was like, yeah, I got to keep this.
I was like, hey, son, you lost? You looking for your dad? I mean, what's going on? And you're like, it's Quincy.
At one point, Kerry, I was going to make him wear a hairnet around his ear.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. It gets there. So, Duncan, thanks for joining us. It's always good seeing you, brother. Duncan's shop up in Statesville, he's got Stogie named after his mother.
Right.
And he's going to be doing his grand opening. We did the soft opening in celebration of his cigar shop a couple months ago, but I believe it's going to be November 17th, Saturday. So, put on your calendar, make a trip up to Statesville, North Carolina, check out his location. Kind of like what you were talking about earlier, Eric, about the support of the local community in Statesville. That is another up and coming area, and having a cigar shop like Stogie, that it has a nice selection of cigars, but he's got a lot of boutique too.
Cool.
He does. He definitely does. Duncan is a believer and really does. I mean, his knowledge is ridiculous. He's one of the best tobacconists I've ever met, if not the best tobacconist I've ever met.
Is he open on Sundays, Kerry?
Duncan, you open on Sundays? I don't know if he is or not. I don't know if he's still open. Come on, Duncan, you open Sundays? Buenas noches. Yeah, Duncan, it's your computer, dude. Our sound's just fine, man. I'm getting good tone here on the mic.
That way Quincy and I can come up and visit on a Sunday.
Yeah, Duncan, we gotta know if you're open on a Sunday or not, brother. I'm not sure if he is. I know right now with being new to the area and a new shop, it's kind of feeling out the hours. I'm sure that if you guys ever wanted to make a trip up on a Sunday, he'd open up for you. I'm gonna speak for you, Duncan. I speak for the trees and for Duncan. I'm like the Lorax. So yes, he will be open on a Sunday if you want to go up there. Just give him a call.
Just call him.
You're called.
Got it. Road trip.
So tell us what else is going on, Quincy. You're on camera now, dude. I'm about ready to hook you out of here. Bring Eric back.
I mean, what else is going on? I mean, just working and living life to the fullest.
Living life to its fullest.
Try to get back on the road, traveling to see more cigar lounges that I need to see.
So let me ask you this: what's your favorite cigar?
My favorite cigar, I have to go with the Blackworks Studio.
Blackworks Studio, yeah.
I love their Killer Bee. I love their Green Hornet. I mean, Eric has a good cigar too, but I've had it all the time. I have it every day.
My initiation.
I have it every single day, so I mean.
Well, you gotta mix it up, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to love the wasabi. I love their blend of a peppery taste. It's not it's not overpowering pepper, but it's still a great smooth taste no matter what I have. So.
It's funny is I was.
By the way, Carrie one taught me about the wasabi.
Or did?
Yeah.
What's funny is I seen a lot of Blackworks Studio traveling up north. This is about a year or so ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago, and I just kind of was like, kind of overview, just kind of looked over it. I'm like, the Killer Bee, I'm like, Gitchy, and the Green Hornet, kind of Gitchy, and the Skulls and stuff. Then I went to a shop in Newtown, Pennsylvania. My man Matt Arlene at Ned's Cigar Shop. Now, the crazy thing about this story is, I was up with my family. We had breakfast at a little place up there. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to Ned's Cigar Shop right down the road. Googled it, walked in, great shop, awesome, very historic area. So I started covering Pennsylvania, start going back, and I'm in the bathroom. I told the story before, and I don't care if it gets old or not. But I'm in the bathroom, and I see this picture of Rocky Patel. Now, this is probably the 5th or 6th time I've been in this cigar shop. We sat around, smoked cigars. He's the one who introduced me to Blackwork Studio. He's the one who gave me the Killer Bee, and I was hooked. And I look over and I'm like, that's Rocky Patel, but I know that dude he's with. So I walk out and I'm like, Matt, who's that guy in the picture with Rocky Patel? And he's like, oh, that's Luca Foglia. He goes, that's Luca. That's the former owner of the place. I said, Luca Foglia? He goes, how in the hell do you know Luca Foglia? So when I got out of college and I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, I worked out of a dealership in Reading, Pennsylvania, and Luca Foglia was the service manager. And then apparently I left. He went back. He's from Philly. Went to Philly and owned this cigar shop, and then passed away. And the lounge is still called the Luca Lounge. So here I am in a cigar shop, who was once owned by a guy I worked with 20 years ago, and the lounge is still named after him, and completely blown away by that. A small world, right?
Yeah, very small.
Getting smaller.
And then when I started smoking the Killer Bee, which Carrie also got me onto, cigars you got me hooked to.
I'm a smart man. Bob the Cigar Guy just hopped on. Bob the Cigar Guy Finley.
Hey, Bob.
Bob, hopefully we got 2 boys from Virginia. I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult y'all. 2 guys from Georgia who probably just hopped on to Bob the Cigar Guy on YouTube and subscribed. He's the man, the myth, the legend, Bob the Cigar Guy, straight out of Traveler's Rest.
I seen something that's like his Halloween thing. He's doing a Halloween special.
13 days of Halloween.
See that? See, don't sleep on me. I'll look him up.
He's a great reviewer. He's a little late to the show, Bob. We started at 8, not 9. He did send in Steven earlier to check out the situation, and then Bob comes flying in a little bit later. But we'll let him slide on that. We'll let him slide.
I know him to come in late too. Though.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad, Bob.
Well, yeah, but Bob, I mean, come on, man. At least 8:05, Bob. You come in at 8:05, brother.
It's a pleasure when anybody shows up.
It is a pleasure, but I gotta give Bob a little bit of crap.
I gotta get Bob to come down here too. Bob still hadn't shown up down here yet. Just saying, Bob.
I told you to get Bob. I had Bob on the show, and I've been asking him for a while to be on the show. See, he had me on a review many moons ago, and we reviewed the San Lotano Maduro Lancero. Say that 5 times. And first time I was there in front of a camera, and Bob and I did the review, and it was a good time. That was back before Bob was just Bob the Cigar Guy. Now that he's Bob the Cigar Guy, it was tough to get him on the show. I had to get blue M&Ms, so I had to sit there with M&Ms to pull out all the blue ones, put them in a bowl. He needed his water at 68 degrees, so I had to take the thermometer and make sure the water was perfect. He needed egg crate on a chair for his back, and he needed to be on the show for 20 minutes, and that's it, and then he had to go. He's very strict. So that's get some blue M&Ms,
So that's all.
water at 68 degrees,
Man,
some egg crate.
Next week, I need you down here, bud, because I'll have blue M&Ms. I have crystal clear Anderson water that you will love. I'm not gonna lie, everybody loves the water for some reason.
Anderson water. You can go down the pond and just dip a bucket in there.
It's better than that.
It's great water, and I will definitely have you 400 or 500 egg crates if you need them. I know where to get them.
Yeah, Kevin, thank you. He is 2 weeks in a row late to the show, but you know what? It's Bob always likes to make an entrance. I'm gonna get struck by lightning. No, I'm not gonna get struck by lightning.
It's raining outside though.
It is a little bit. Now I might get struck by lightning. So
Kerry, I got that DAB one that you gave me.
yes,
Almost down to the end.
he's smoking down. To quote Bob the Cigar Guy, he's smoking that joker down to the nub.
It's great construction, nice burn, same flavor, consistent.
San Andreas, good cigar.
I haven't
Real
tried
nice.
it yet.
Real nice cigar. Real nice cigar.
I'll take one from Daryl.
Huh?
I'll take one from Daryl.
Shit, I forgot cigars. Crap. Sorry, Dal. Damn, I knew I forgot something. Crap. Don't worry, Dal. I'll make a special trip for you, brother. I swear to God. I knew I forgot something. I thought I threw them in my bag. I'm a failure. You know what? You want some DAV cigars? Go to VSRcigar.com.
I
Only
will.
$20 for 3. I'll give you a special discount. Free shipping. I'll bring them down. I'll hand deliver them like I did Daryl's.
That's what I call service.
Daryl, man, you know what, brother? I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw a couple in extra for you, and I'm going to get them to you. So promise you, I will definitely do that.
If he doesn't give them to you, I'll go and meet him to get them.
I didn't trust Quincy. He said, "Give him the Quincy." I'm like, "I'm not giving the Quincy."
He did say that. He told me the same
You're gonna
thing.
give him an empty bag.
No, I would not.
Cigars you'll
I give him the ashtray.
We'll give him one because the other two will be gone.
I'll give him the ashtray. Because I like that ashtray
The ashtray.
that you probably kept.
No. Believe it or not, man, we had some great response during the DAV special because we're doing this focus on the boutique cigar makers, and we're having specials running on VSRCigarFan.com. And we really, people responded well, and I had t-shirts, I had cutters, I had ashtrays. Gone.
That means they're all in Carrie's garage.
Bob's cigar guy. I'm gonna woo him with the ashtray. I want you back on the show, Bob. Here's a nice ashtray. But
Ashtrays are in Carrie's cigar lounge somewhere.
no, they are not. But there is one on its way to New York, I think. I can't remember. And then we sent some T-shirts down to Somerville. The feedback's been great. So that ashtray is a beast, Bob, and it can be yours if you're on the show one of these days.
You gotta come back on, Bob.
I'll fill it full of blue M&M. So,
I do the red M&Ms.
what's that?
I get the red M&Ms.
He wants red M&Ms? I don't know. Bob, he's not a big red guy. He likes the
I'm
blue.
for me.
Huh?
I'm talking for me.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're at 9:15. We're going to start wrapping things up.
Alrighty.
I'm going to give you the floor for the camera. Tell folks about the shop down here. Tell them what to come down here for. Or tell them about yourself.
Well, to come down for one, just to see the lovable, as Carrie like to say, huggable.
Crystal clear water.
The huggable.
There it is.
Newly cigar consultant down here. That I just love meeting new people. If you come down, you have a great time, have great music. I'll turn the TV off. I'll keep the TV off and just play music. You might even catch me dancing around. You never know. I'm just that silly.
You want
person.
people to come. You're going to be dancing?
Hey,
Oh,
they
there
come to
goes-
see
there goes the
dancing.
neighborhood.
They will love the dancing.
I don't know about that. That's
Making
scary.
money for real now.
Scary.
It's never scary when I dance.
We get it into a tutu, we'll have more business.
So you come on down to Anderson, South Carolina. Come to Havana through the door. Come and see Quincy. He'll make you some great coffee. He'll keep the music high. He'll keep the TV low, and he'll keep the dancing somewhere in between.
I'll keep it in between.
You keep it in between. Good. He'll keep it nice and fresh.
Harry, we're here to turn on bring the customers and not scare them away with the dance.
And you'll even have
I'm
great
trying to help.
cigars.
Huh?
And you'll even have great cigars. You'll have great knowledge on cigars. I mean, the customer service by itself will bring you down and keep you here.
Yeah. I agree. You got guys from Georgia coming in here. You guys like this place?
Yeah.
You get to meet us when you come. I mean, come on.
Only place I got it.
Right.
Look at that. You got two young men here from Georgia. Come on down to Havana through the door. They'll be signing autographs all day. I don't know what for, but they definitely will. Eric, you want to come on over here and
Absolutely.
close out? Quincy, it's always a pleasure, my man.
Always.
Good seeing you, brother. I'm getting out of here.
I can't get up.
Those chairs do suck you up, don't they?
Yes, they do. Look at that bad boy.
Man,
Great smoke.
that is a sign of a great cigar, great construction, and more importantly, great flavor. Because a lot of cigars, when you get down to that point, the flavors can be overwhelming. The oils from drawing it in the entire time could be really built up in the tar and grossness. But it seems like you're doing a pretty good job with that.
Absolutely. Great smoke. Need to be bringing that one in, Kerry. I'll be talking to Kerry after this to talk about some of the boutique companies we want to be bringing in.
That's right. We're going to be talking about some of the boutique cigars that are going to be down here at Havana through the door. We got Aaron Perkins just hopped on. Aaron, I love Aaron Perkins. I met him when I was up in Maryland. He's the president of the Smoking Shields in Maryland. A great group of individuals of those who served our country, served the state, the local, the policemen, and women. Just incredible group of individuals. They invited me up to one of their meetings up at Dan Swahili's place, Dan's Cigar Lounge, and got an opportunity to get to know those guys better. And just a great group of individuals. They're former law enforcement, and they still play an active role in the community. I mean, these guys spent years on the force, risking their lives, and after they're done, they still go back and they still continue to be an influence in the community, doing fundraising. But more importantly, Aaron and I sat down on how he is mentoring young men.
Cool.
And it's always an honor and a pleasure whenever Aaron or anybody from the Smoking Shields hops on. I was introduced to them through Rob, who's the owner of Burnt Leaf up in Reynoldstown, Maryland. And I think Rob he's back in the show again as a colonel, but he retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Baltimore Police Department. And just a great guy.
Thanks for all your service, my friend.
Great folks, man. I'll tell you what, just great people. So, Eric, Quincy, he blew it. The floor is yours. What do you want to leave people with about Havana through the door?
If you're looking for a spot where there's no cutting fee, there's no cigar fee, you want to bring your own cigar in, come in, sit down, relax, and it's all about the experience in Havana. Service, atmosphere, laid back, filtration system that clears out 3,000 square feet and only have 950. You'll smell tobacco, but you won't see smoke. Unless, of course, there's 30 people in here smoking all at the same time.
But I'll tell you what, there's 5 of us in here. We've been smoking, and this is a decent-sized room. It's not too big, it's not too small, and it has not been smoky at all. And I've been in bigger rooms with the same amount of people where it literally looks like London fog.
It's like going to an airport, walking to a place that's where you're allowed to smoke. It's like going in trying to cut through the fog.
Exactly. Or if you go to Greenville Airport and you're allowed to smoke outside. They have outside seating. They have,
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I'm flying out of Greenville. I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting here, I'm eating some food, getting something to drink, and I'm like, you got outside seating. Can I go out there and smoke a cigar? Dang. Out there smoke a cigar.
Cool.
I was happier than a pig in poop.
I'll just go up there just to be able to sit outside and smoke. Not that I'll be flying anywhere.
Well, I went to the Wolfgang Puck place and had some food. It was good. Had something to drink. Went outside, and just being able. I thought it was really cool to be able to sit outside. It was beautiful weather, and to actually be able to smoke a cigar. Because I like to get to the airport early, kind of like flying, so I like a little bit of liquid courage, and smoke a cigar outside and have a drink and really enjoy myself.
Cool.
Little old Greenville.
Moving on up.
Moving on. It is. I'll tell you what. So, folks, if your Stogie Road finds you in Anderson, South Carolina, let me say, if your Stogie Road finds you in the South Carolina area, in the upstate, make sure the Havana Through the Door is on your list of stops. Here in Anderson, South Carolina, I've been to Anderson several times. I usually am pretty aware of the cigar shops in the area. I know that you are, if not one of the only, if not the only cigar shop in the area. And what's really great to hear that you got guys like Quincy who are coming in. You're able to come in here in the afternoon, get some cigars, get some coffee, relax. The humidor is going to be expanding, not physically, but what you actually have in it. I think you got a great selection in there now. But what's even more important is that you're going to be able to come here. It's going to be a destination location.
Absolutely.
You can come here, get some great boutique cigars, grab a beer, hang out with your friends, and enjoy this great, wonderful lounge. And also have a nice outside experience, too.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you for having me.
Kerry,
Really.
thank you very much
Thank
for
you
coming
very
in, my
much.
friend. I greatly appreciate it.
Everybody, thanks for hopping on the Viajante Stogie Road Show. Next week, we are going to have on Dave Cribben, Rolling Thunder, 50 cal, Very, very excited to have Dave on. He's a great guy. They have a good cigar.
I'll be
I don't know if
on
you've had
watching
any yet.
that one also.
Have you had the 50 cal?
No, not yet.
I'll tell you what, man. Kevin Keating, my man, the myth, my man. Getting all confused here. Kevin and I worked together at Enterprise Rent a Car many years ago. Kevin was my manager down in Florida. It's good seeing you, Kev. Thanks for hopping on, buddy. I think the Bucks are great. He's a big Buccaneers fan, so his football love goes up and down. Depends on the week. So thanks again for joining us tonight on Viajante Stogie Road. And as once again I said, if your Stogie Road finds you in the Anderson, South Carolina area, make sure that a van through the door is one of your stops. Thanks again, my man.
Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Have a good night, everybody.
Be good.
All right. Let's see if I can turn this off, because I don't even know if I can right now because of what the Viajante Stogie Road website is doing with Facebook. So we're still live, even though we said we're signing off. So please be patient. We will say nothing bad about anybody. That Bob the Cigar guy, he showed up late. I'm just kidding, Bob. I'm not going to say anything bad about you. We may have to go on forever here. I don't think we'll be able to stop the show.
That's a good omen.
I don't know if it's a good omen, dude. I think a lot of people are going to be like, yo, why don't you just shut up? And I'm not going to be able to shut up. I ain't kidding. Oh, what's going on, everybody?
It's like you do when you play a guitar, you vent till you're done. Vent till ready.
I'll tell you what, I wish I was Jimi Hendrix right now, because I'd be playing all sorts of good stuff.
Cool.
Start
Because
singing.
what's that?
Start singing.
I should. I was singing earlier. It wasn't helping out at all. But this is crazy. We only got 2 viewers anyway, so that's all right. I'm telling you, this is really nutty. Ever since I signed back on, it completely just screwed everything up.
It doesn't want you to leave.
It doesn't want me to leave. We're never leaving. I will show angry frustration faces here from...
Well, we could unplug everything.
I know, right? I'll tell you what, this is one of the weirdest things I've ever been involved in right now. It really is.
It's a mystery.
I've never had this happen before. We are still live. We are still going strong. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and do it from this.